Hey, welcome to your Capricorn horoscopes for the week of the 21st through the 27th of January. The party is really still happening in Capricorn, even though Capricorn season is technically over. So many planets are in Capricorn, and Venus is moving into Capricorn this week as well. We got a lot of stuff going on in here. We've got Mercury and Mars. I'm going to talk about Mercury and Mars here for a minute because they really move into conjunction with each other by the end of the week. And I mean a very close-knit, tight, in the same place conjunction, so to speak. By the way, physically that can't happen. It's our viewpoint where they look like they're on top of each other. Just kind of weird when you think about it. Anyways, and both planets are in a trine with Uranus. Uranus is very much focused on the release of inner trauma, which is not exactly pleasant. And sometimes in the moment doesn't feel like it's very helpful, but it is helpful because all the focus is on your long-term goals, specifically your long-term financial goals, because that's the influence that Venus is bringing into your sign this week. So we're talking about money here. You definitely don't want anything holding you back when it comes to your financial goals. And any old mindsets, any old trauma, any old muck about money coming in from your past is not going to be helpful in terms of you being successful financially from here on out. We want to make sure that we have walked away from the old practices. We're moving into practices that work better for us, that might be making a little bit more money. Let your money make money, right? That's really what it's all about. Especially to financially responsible people, such as Capricorns. As Venus moves into your sign, she comes in a grand sextile with Uranus and Saturn. Saturn is really focused on support, your support system, and Saturn's your ruling planet and is all about professional support, really, being responsible in terms of that support. And you Capricorns would actually know this better than anybody, that the best support is from a person who really knows what they're doing rather than hoping that a friend of yours that has a little bit of knowledge might be able to be helpful in that situation. Um, I think a lot of people get tripped up with that. I don't think Capricorns get tripped up quite as often. I'm sure it happens from time to time, maybe with some Capricorns, but overall, you guys don't mess around when it comes to your money. Which is really good, actually. And I feel also like because of the fact that the release of an inner trauma or old mindsets really plays into this, that there may even be the possibility of um, releasing old mindsets around professional help, if that makes sense. Because Capricorns are very much I can do it, let me do it. I don't have to have anybody help me kind of individuals. And while that's true for the most part, when it comes to things that you're not really familiar with, you need a little bit of extra help. And it's just plain stubborn not to use it when it is available to us. So to me, I sort of look at this situation as, I run a business. And many years ago, I realized that I could only go so far running my business on my own financially. I don't have the knowledge to run a business. I don't have the knowledge of what to do with my money, other than making it and spending it. I needed a bookkeeper. I needed a financial advisor. I needed somebody that could help me figure out what to do so that I didn't get myself in trouble. And of course, that's what I did. And I didn't really want help. And I didn't really want to release the control over my money to another individual. That scared the absolute crap out of me, but it's the smartest thing I ever did because she's amazing and wonderful. And as it turns out, a lot of things have gotten a lot easier because I made that decision. So it's not a bad idea to look into it. Use your gut. Let your gut be the one to help you make the decision. I looked at two different people when I was looking at for a bookkeeper. Two different people that presented themselves right in front of me. One of them was a Capricorn, but I didn't care for her energy. And everything about the way that she communicated and her energy was just a little bit, I wasn't quite sure if I could resonate with that energy. It wasn't a trust thing. It was my comfort level in working with somebody, which is why I went with the second option. And that's not the only reason why either. I also found out that she was amazing from other people that had worked with her as well. So that wasn't my only basis of the decision. There was a lot that went into that as well, which she had that the other person didn't as well. So bottom line here is do your research, take your time. It doesn't have to be done tomorrow. Doesn't have to be done next week. It just has to be done at some point. Ooh, pardon me. Um, and the sooner you get on it, the quicker you will actually be able to make that decision. As we get to Pluto, Pluto is technically no longer in Capricorn. Technically, it is 0 degrees Aquarius. However, that is the true cusp of the two signs. So you will have that influence. And trust me when I say he's not going very far before he goes retrograde and comes back again. But that is down the road. So he'll be sitting on that cusp there pretty much. So sorry. Pretty much until he goes retrograde and comes back. So you still be dealing with that influence to a certain extent. Pluto's square with Uranus is a bit of a challenge because Pluto is sitting right there on that career goals cusp there. And Uranus is all about pulling up old triggers of old traumas, of old things that really are no longer serving your best interest right now, or really being helpful right now. This hasn't happened all day long. So this is really what's getting in the way of you being able to make an educated decision based on your finances is these old fears. And when we get to that fear place, we don't want that to happen again. We do everything we possibly can to make sure it doesn't happen, sometimes in a productive way, sometimes in a not productive way. And we just want to make sure that it is productive and not productive. So that's what I have for you guys this week. Lots and lots of money plans really coming to the surface this week. And to be honest with you, this is a good time for that to happen. You're starting off the year, you have a plan of what you want to do. You want to get the money situation sorted so that it doesn't come up to bite you in the behind later, or you have to stop what you're doing to fix a problem that never needed to happen in the first place. That makes sense. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation through my coffee link, which is in the description of the video. Would really appreciate that. I love all the coffee love. Also, asking, offering, how would you like to get a weekly reading based on the astrology, personalized to you with a little bit of tarot thrown in there as well? If that is something that you would like to look into, then click the link to my membership and check that out. I'm also adding my email address in there so that you can get in touch with me, ask questions about it if you would like to ask questions about it. And if you would like to see what that video looks like, I can send you the link. Now, the video is on YouTube, but it is unlisted to keep it very private. So only the people that are actually in the video have access to the video, most of which don't listen to anybody else's reading but their own. But it does keep it private from your friends and your family and, people who may come up in the reading so that it doesn't cause any confusion, if that makes sense. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. I will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, I always expect you guys to make it a great week because you're just so good at it. But as expectations aside, just make it a great week because you can. I'll see you guys next week.